Staining wood is pretty easy. You wipe it on, wipe it off, but there are still some things that can go wrong. So here are 6 of my favorite tips to prevent problems. Tip 1, 2 pieces of wood that have been sanded differently will absorb stain differently and look a little bit different when finished. So my tip is to sand all parts of your project the same. For example, if your sanding sequence is 80, 120, and then 150 grit, stick with that for all parts of the build. Believe it or not, these are the exact same board, but sanded at a different grit. This all the way to 280 and this at 120. So it definitely makes a difference. The finer the grit, the harder it is for the stain to stick to the surface of the wood. So know that the finer you sand something, the lighter the stain is going to be. Tip 2, while you're at it, sand a few cutoffs too using the same sequence. Since these scraps are identical to the wood used on your project, they're perfect for trying out stains and clear coatings. Tip 3, a random orbital sander is the best choice for lots of sanding jobs, but it can leave swirl marks on wood. And usually you won't notice these marks until the sand accentuates them. To eliminate swirls, do 2 things. First, go slow. This drives me nuts, but it's the only way to use an ROS. You move the sander about 1 inch per second. Second, don't press down hard. The weight of the sander and your arm resting on it is about the right amount of pressure here. I hate going slow, but that's the right way to use the tool. Tip 4, even if you're careful, you might end up with flaws like swirls or glue stains. And again, some flaws are almost impossible to see before you stain. So here's a tip for projects that have to be perfect. Wipe on mineral spirits and then inspect. Kind of like stain, mineral spirits will highlight the flaws, but don't apply any finish until the mineral spirits has completely evaporated. Brings it out super clear whenever you put on mineral spirits. Now you want to let this fully evaporate before applying any stain. Tip 5, some wood species like oak usually absorb wood stain evenly, but most don't. Pine, birch, maple, cherry, and others are prone to uneven absorption and can look mottled or blotchy after staining. Pre-stained wood conditioner reduces blotching by pre-staining the wood for a more even stain absorption, and it's really easy to use. You wipe it on or brush it on, give it a few minutes to soak in, and then wipe off the excess. This is a very good visual on what the pre-stain actually does, but let me wipe this off and you guys can see it clearer. So this side over is with the conditioner, this side over is without. See all that blotchiness? See how clear that is? So it's worth the time. Science. That's not science.
Let me pause and thank this video's sponsor, which is Aura Frames.
If you're an unintentional last-minute Christmas shopper like I am, then stay tuned because you're going to want to hear about Aura Frames. Every day in December, I vow to go gift shopping tomorrow, but tomorrow always turns into a work day for me, so I end up rushing around on Christmas Eve. That's one reason I love giving Aura Frames. They make it so fast and easy. I can preload photos and add a message before the frame even ships, and the frame arrives in a really nice gift box. So Aura does everything I would do, but it only takes 10 minutes. Using an Aura frame is just as easy. You or others can send photos straight from your phone anywhere, anytime to the frame. The frame even has a hidden speaker, so you can upload short video clips, which of course is my realm. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling carver mat frames. This is named #1 by Wirecutter. Use the promo code APRIL at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code APRIL. This deal is exclusive to viewers and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the channel by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Tip 6.
My favorite polyurethane tip when finishing large surfaces. It's very hard to do a brush on finish on large surfaces because the poly will actually start drying and get a little bit gooey before you can fully brush it out. In order to get a nice protective buildup, my favorite tip is to apply a few layers of brush on poly, and then the final coat is a wipe on poly. Let me show you.
I've never been able to brush out a perfect coat of poly on a large surface like this tabletop. The poly begins to dry and gets a little gooey before I can finish brushing. So instead, I like to build up a protective surface with brush on poly, then follow it up with wipe on poly, which is much more forgiving than brushing. Here are the steps.
Use gloss poly for your buildup coats. Even if you want a satin coat later, multiple layers of semi-gloss or satin look like a sheet of plastic over the wood. For a tabletop, I go with at least 2 brush-on coats, usually 3. Brush on the poly as smooth as you can, but don't panic over imperfections. You'll be able to fix them later. Between coats of brush-on, wet sand the poly with wet or dry sandpaper. Hey, maybe the paint thinner smell will drive the mosquitoes out. I like to use 600 grit, but some people use 400. As lubricant, you can use water or mineral spirits. Mineral spirits is a little slipperier, but the fumes are nasty. When sanding the first coat, sand very lightly, just enough to knock off any whiskers. On following coats, you can get more aggressive to flatten out brush marks or drips. Never do any sanding until the poly has plenty of time to harden. Dry to the touch is not good enough. I always wait overnight. Wet sanding will leave a white powdery haze on the surface. You want to wipe it off with a damp rag and make sure to get it out of the cracks. When your final brush-on coat is sanded perfectly smooth, you can move on to wipe-on poly. The great thing about wipe-on poly is that it makes perfection easy. You almost can't screw it up. The downside is that it creates only a very thin film. I'd estimate that 1 coat of brush-on is about equal to 4 coats of wipe-on. And that's why I brush on for protection and wipe on for perfection. On this project, I went with 2 coats of wipe on satin, but you can go with as many coats as it takes to get the look you want.